Alrighty, we're live. Episode 2 with In the Trench podcast with myself. I'm Brian Wiggins and my beautiful wife, Nara Wiggins. Man, I just want to say that I love having you with me. You know that.
I know that.
You know that.
Yes.
I've built my whole life around you being with me.
That is correct. You made sure of it.
Isn't that true?
Yeah.
You couldn't get, I was like, we're going to be entrepreneurs together. We're going to build life together. We're going to live together. We're going to do everything together.
Yes, we do everything together, people.
And I even remember there was a time where you're like, dude, we need to separate a little bit.
Please.
And I wonder how many of your ladies have said, how do you work with your husband? And what they really mean is, how do they work with their husband, right?
Yeah.
What a journey.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
Yeah.
Did you actually, like, am I speaking for you when I say that you actually
you can speak for yourself? Speak for yourself.
Yes, exactly.
I think that we've done a lot of things together. I think that pushed us to grow together for sure. But I'm a strong believer in also having you need to separate as a man and a wife too. I also believe that you need time alone as a woman. You need to go hang out with your girlfriends. The guys need to be with the guys because it becomes too much if you don't have that. But we do everything together. I think it's just healthy.
I think it's important. That's kind of cool that guys, she's a smart lady, right? I mean, everything she says, I'm like, that's actually true. We started having success when we separated. That's what I will say.
In what way did we separate?
I'm agreeing with you, actually. I'm not even disagreeing. It's like as soon as we started having different departments and where we were working in the same business, but you're pretty much by yourself all day, I'm by myself all day, and we come together.
It's selecting the departments that you're responsible for.
Yeah.
I think it's very important. And then, but work towards the same mission and the same organization, business.
Yeah.
But you do your job, I do mine, we come together, and it just works better that way.
And for the guys out there, it's the ultimate protection, in my opinion, of the life that I've built for our family. Mm-hmm. It protected you. You were never with someone else. You were never giving yourself to somebody else. You were always giving yourself to your family. And what I realized is that a woman loves her family.
Yeah.
And that's what you got to pour into. I think it's so awesome. Mm-hmm. Just thinking about that.
Any woman would prefer to work for their own business with their own husbands than to have a boss that they can't stand.
Oh, yeah.
Being in an environment, have to deal with other people. It's like, I never had to go and answer to another man out there out of the house. And that it's been amazing. Yeah.
Dude, I'm a man. And I'm a man.
Are you a man?
I'm a man, dude.
Dang, what a revelation.
And today's podcast, even though I feel like I've come short a lot, and as you're walking with me that I bring this stuff up to you, but today's podcast is about being a man. And first I want to say I watched a video by Duke Gomez. If you guys don't follow him, you need to. And I already know
it's hilarious.
Every time I watch it, I'm like, what is this crazy liberal video? And then it's him at the end of it, and he has that face. He's like, what the?
And it's funny because you follow him because of his reactions, but every time those videos pop up, you regret following him because you're like, oh, okay.
I'm always like, what did I just watch? But it completes it when he does that.
Oh,
I'm like,
that guy's
thank you.
Great.
You just made my whole day that we agree.
Yeah.
So I just watched a video of him, and it shows this 13-year-old, and he's like, okay, guys, I'm going to make some breakfast. I'm going to eat some cereal. And then it shows him a freaking fat person, in Portuguese, gordo, or imanso, if you're watching it, imanso. Okay? So he's about to eat this in his fat, chubby little fingers, and he's pouring some bowl of, not a bowl of ice cream, a bowl of cereal. And he takes 2 boxes of Oreos and he shoves them in a bowl, and he pours milk and he just starts eating Oreos. And you got to think, he just ate 2 boxes of Oreos. And I was just thinking to myself, if I came downstairs and my son was doing that, I would have choked the daylights out of him. And it's like, it would have never got to that point, right? But I was like, where's his father at, right? Yeah. And I'm always thinking manhood. I was telling Nara before we started this podcast, I said, is there anything wrong with, like, when you get married to a man, that he kind of has his stuff together, that he already has something established, that he's already disciplined, that he already has those things set in place where you're kind of just getting the blessings of a man. And I'll let you speak for that. I mean, is that a bad thing, or do you like the whole, like, building things from the ground up?
It's painful, guys. Okay, so I think what you're trying to say like this, because you're talking about that kid. You're using as an example like who that kid is going to become.
You already know. And I was thinking the reason why I thought about that too is because moms are sitting in the home thinking that that's cute. And you know as a mother that your kids are cute.
Mm-hmm.
They're adorable. They do these cute little things and it's so adorable. But at what point do you realize that you're training your kid to grow up?
Mm-hmm.
And that's my whole message.
Especially
it's like, why
for boys.
is it cute?
Especially for boys.
You got this fatty in there eating 2 boxes of Oreos. And where's his dad that's like, get up, we're going to go on a 5-mile run every day from now on.
And I always say, who is buying the cereal? Is the kid going to the grocery store and buying the cereal?
Who's buying the cereal? It's the mom. Maybe it's the dad who's so passive and he's like, he sees it. He's like, I hate this, but I don't want to face this woman.
He doesn't hate it. He doesn't hate it.
Let's say he does.
I see a dad who is just like that. I think it's impossible, Brian, for you to be a dad who cares about your health and have a child like that. I think his dad is probably on the same trajectory.
This is what I think, and it's okay if it's okay because I think you're right, but I want to challenge it a little bit. What if the dad's completely against it, but he's just so scared, he's so weak to face his wife, to face his children? Because I see this on a constant basis where the guy completely disagrees with the wife's view, completely disagrees with the way that the wife is raising the kids. Because I'm going to speak from my experience. That I was busy, when a man gets busy in life, that you just hope your wife kind of holds down the fort. And selective, like I picked you, you're a great mom. You raise our daughter way better than what I would have even have expected. That's awesome. So when I come home and I'm like, cool, we're all on track. And maybe I do set the vision like, hey, this is where we're going. Let's tighten up these things. But a guy who's like, let's say truck driving, 18 hours a day, he comes home, he hasn't even been with his kids, doesn't even know what's going on. So I want you to imagine that you're waking up before your kids go to you're waking up, going to work before your kids get up. When you come home, they're going to sleep. You never know what's going on, but you start to see your kids become soft and
That's
weak.
what I'm trying to say. That is a problem.
So is that guy someone who agrees? What I'm trying to say is with your argument,
it's a guy who is just completely not present in all ways.
But I wanted to challenge the question that you had where that guy agrees with it, or do you think there's guys out there that totally 100%?
I think we have 2 different people, right? Yeah. There is a guy who is sitting at home, who is fat, who's overweight, who doesn't work out, who doesn't care about his life and his family, who's doing the bare minimum. Okay, there's this guy. Then there's another guy who maybe is not to that level, okay? But he's just not paying attention to his family at all, which means he's not leading. Mm-hmm. He's not giving them vision. He's not protecting them from what they should be protected from. He's not setting an example. Yeah. You can say whatever you want about the women, you can, and we can go on that. We're going to do an episode on talking about that. But I think I want us to focus on the man.
It's so true.
It's so easy to put the blame on the woman, and there's a whole side of that.
It's so true.
But I'm
let's blame the guy here. So man up, right? Man up. That guy has a choice. And I know people right now that have made a choice in that similar situation where they said, I'm gonna make a change. Mm-hmm. And they got themselves out of that scenario of working 14, 15 hours a day, being gone 24/7. And they got where they made it where their life changed, where now they're present. So I agree. Mm-hmm. You have to man up.
And that doesn't mean that, changing out, you're a stay-at-home dad, because we don't stand for that at all. But it's like this: if your family is perishing, I do think that you need to start paying a little bit more attention to them, and you need to start making some tweaks to make sure that they're in track. And it doesn't necessarily mean more time spent with them. It will come with more time, but also like sitting down and having family talks, 100%. Looking at yourself and be like, am I setting myself up to be an example that my kids want to follow? Am I spending time with my kids? Because as a dad, you need to spend time with your kids. The time spent with dad is very different than the time spent with mom.
I 100% agree with you. And I think that as men, we do have to be present. I do think we have to be present. And the woman obviously is going to be the home. She's going to be the nurturer. She's going to support the mission. But I do think at the end of the day, it's like, hey, Gordo over there, it's over. We're not buying this stuff.
And setting an example. Yeah. I think if you are overweight, Brian, what do you expect? You are shoving cereal in your mouth, chocolate, candy, but you expect your kid not to do it? How does that make any sense?
Yeah, think about it. And the whole point of this is, I think that what I would like for our audience to understand is, what kind of man did you want to marry? What kind of woman did you want to marry? And that starts in the home. So the takeaway from this is, if you're a woman at home and you're like, I feel like I'm not being provided for, I feel like I don't have the life that I'd want to live, then make the change. Be like, today I'm going to decide, and I'm talking more for the guy, that I'm going to get in shape. I'm going to start being a spiritual leader. I'm going to start casting vision, and I'm going to make the hard changes that our family needs to take us to the next level. Mm-hmm. And I think it's like, why not? Why not go down that road? What do you think about that?
That's it. I think that's what women are hoping to happen. And it may not happen in the way that we women like, but it's so necessary. And at the end of the day, every woman it's grateful for that change.
Yeah, I just think to myself, if there's a woman who's at home and she's being allowed to do this, right? Like, there's a woman who's totally okay with her fat kid eating a bowl of, Oreos. And a guy comes in and says, this is changing. Mm-hmm. We're no longer doing this. Mm-hmm. We're going to do this. We're going to do this. And he leads. I think it's painful at first, but I think every single person on this earth benefits from a strong mm-hmm. man. Mm-hmm. And there's kicking and screaming. And I think that's what the whole left is. It's a bunch of people that are kicking and screaming, running away from doing the hard things of just changing. It's so simple to me mm-hmm. too. Mm-hmm. It's like, no. And I see that. I see that across the board with a lack of men. I really do.
There is a lack of masculinity right now. It's been more evident than ever, where it's becoming harder and harder to find men who are, they're standing for truth. They're saying the hard things. They're not conform. I feel like a lot of men are conforming. Sometimes I'm talking to a guy, I feel like I'm talking to their wife.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird to me. I'm like, yeah, I do think that you're talking like a woman. I'm sorry, your thought patterns mm-hmm. are like a woman. The comments you're making, something that women will be interested in, and I think it's coming from a lack of this guy is not surrounded by men. Yeah. Men need to be in community together. Like, I think you need to be like, I mm-hmm. even say this to you. How many times have I said to you, you need to be with your guys? There are things that guys do that are helpful for you to be a guy. I don't know what to explain. You know what I'm saying?
Dude, let's talk about that. So you have a kid that, let's say, I always say thinks he's gay, right? 13 years old, 14 years old. In the society, he goes to school. Is he accepted for being a man, or is he accepted for being a woman, thinking like a woman and being gay?
Yeah, today's society is glorifying and embracing the more, gay you are, the more transgender you are, the more you're welcome into the club, like you're very special.
Because think about it, a man is intimidating. Mm-hmm. A man steps into a room, and I actually think that's what people didn't like about Donald Trump, is that he was a man. Mm-hmm. It's like he never said like me. He's like, I don't care if you like me, but I'm making changes and I'm making necessary changes. And you guys are all going to kick and scream. Mm-hmm. And I don't care. Mm-hmm. And I think he got the whole nation on the left to kick and scream because of the changes that he made was necessary. Mm-hmm. I actually think the whole USA, like, we all wanted a better USA, but did we really want to do the things that were necessary to get a better USA? Mm-hmm. And I think even this term, you saw a bunch of people kicking and screaming. Mm-hmm. I don't like the tariffs. Everything's going up. I'm having to pay for things. Yeah. I just think it's what it is. It's a world. It's a world when you live in a world with masculine men. Nobody likes it at first. It's very painful. Do you agree with that? Mm-hmm. It's not painful. It's very painful.
Yeah, I think it comes with that. I can see it.
Okay, let's just look at it in a simple form. If you got a guy who's leading your family in entrepreneurship, leading your family in fitness, leading your family in spirituality,
it's going to be painful at first. It's like, you don't want to go to the gym. You don't want to build this business. But I see what he's saying. If you just take that and submit to it and follow it and take it in and embrace it, then you have better results for you and your whole family.
Yeah. What happens? Actually, let's go into that. What is the results? You live in a better home. You live a better car. You have a better community. You can buy things. Like, you as a woman, you can pay for Evelyn's dance. Mm-hmm. You can invite your dad from Brazil to come hang out with us mm-hmm. and pay for the whole trip. It's like, wow, that sucks, doesn't it? I mean, what awful. Yeah, it's so bad.
And being in shape, come on, we've seen the benefits of working out so much in our lives. It's like
in every way.
But what
was it like when we first started going?
Yeah. Well, for me, I've always lived an active life. So I'm going to tell you, I can't be that person to be like, oh my gosh, I've been working out since, because I was a dancer and never really stopped working out. Even when I was alone, I always did. But there were times that I was lacking and I was feeling really like weak, discouraged, body aches. I just didn't feel like my body was strong and I was doing the best. I didn't have any energy those times that I lacked. So I saw a huge change for sure.
Yeah, and I'm thinking about my journey with you. You kind of met me when I was at my lowest point. I was on a high horse before I met you. I got knocked down. But the thing you always told me was you're like, but you were a man. And that's what was, outside of God saying, this is the guy you're supposed to marry. I don't, like I said, I don't want to speak for you. What was it? What did you mean that you saw a man in me? What does that mean? You
weren't playing games. I think you saw me, you talked to me, and you immediately told me, I'm going to marry you. And that was even scary to me at first. I was like, what do you mean? You're like, oh no, I'm not kidding. Like, we're going to get married. And you made sure to propose real quick. You made sure to get married real quick. You were not playing around. You're like, I don't know. I need to get to know you better. Or I don't know if I'm ready for commitment right now. Like you didn't. And that was a breath of fresh air because I had men come into my life that was them. They were not willing to man up. They were still boys.
You got me thinking about something I told a father that came to me and, he was like, hey, my son has come out openly that he's gay. And I was telling him, it's easier to be gay when you're a kid, especially a young boy, because of how intimidating women are. I think women are intimidating. When I was a kid, like going up to a girl and asking her out and asking her to prom, and women, especially when I was growing up, they didn't accept you as a boy. You had to become better.
Interesting.
You know that? Like even me with you, look at the standard you had. Like think about the standard that you even put on me when I was meeting you. I mean, I had to be, because, when you saw me on the camera, I had my eyebrows, I didn't care, but when I met you, I had to dust the cobwebs off. I had to go to the gym, do some push-ups before I met you. Women intimidate men.
Well, they make men work harder because women like to be chased. So you guys, like they're constantly rejecting men. Like we are supposed to do that. We're supposed to. So as a young boy, you're getting rejected. Then you figure out, why did I get rejected? I got to work better. I got to have a better catchphrase. And I have, that's true. I never thought about that. Like it takes work.
And think about a man marrying a woman, right? The reason why a guy doesn't want to commit because he doesn't think he can provide. That's really the truth. It's like, what kind of life do I have? Do I have stability? Can I pay for these kids? Because when you get married, the next is kids. It's right out. It follows suit. You get married, you have kids. Then you got to provide for kids. Then you got to be a father figure. Then you got to be a husband. Because it's like I think Candace Owens and Charlie Kirk always talk about this, and Candace Owens talks about this quite a bit. What's the difference between being married and being a boyfriend girlfriend if you don't believe in God? Because there was an argument on that. And this lady was like, well, it's a commitment. And she's like, but what's different? Because people are trying to argue that being married is the same as being a girlfriend and boyfriend. It's not. Your life completely changes when you marry a woman in front of God. I think it's an actual event that takes place in the heavens. You become one.
Yeah.
So the point that I'm making is it's a full commitment that changes you and makes you level up. And guys are running from that because they don't want to level up.
Correct.
So, yeah.
And I mean, I understand, I guess, if you are a young man, like you're 18, 19, and you are making sure that you get your stuff together, I think you should. But we're seeing some 30, 40-year-old men who are not ready to commit. And I'm like, what are you doing with your life then? Like, haven't you got enough time to get some stability and make sure that you're in the right place to embrace a woman and kids? You see what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah. I'm just, as you were talking, I'm like, and I totally agree with you. I was just thinking the Bible is saturated with get married. It's all over the book. It's from the beginning to the end. It's like, get married, have kids, get married, have kids, get married, have kids. A man will leave his wife and cleave to his wife, or a man will leave his family and cleave to his wife.
So do you think, Brian, that you can't really fully become a man before you get married? Or what do you think? Do you have to get married to become a man?
I never thought of that. I'm trying to think. You will never fully be a man without being married. I believe that with everything inside of me. But so I almost would have to ask you, define man. Like what is the depth? Like when you say man,
I don't. What's the definition of man?
Yeah,
manhood. I mean, obviously, we're not talking about male and female here. We're talking about going from a boy to becoming a man.
So my answer, and this is coming from my worldview, right? My experience. As you know, and you guys are going to hear this a lot, I did 8 years in the Marine Corps. I did 3 combat deployments. I was a sergeant in the Marines. I did 6 training cycles. I was around boys. The only men I was around were married. Every single man that I was around was married with kids and took responsibility. It was like they became a completely different person. Like even Steven, right? Like I knew Steven before he was married. The Steven now is a man.
Mm-hmm.
He works his ass off to provide for his family and he's relentless about it. The Steven I knew back then was selfish. He wanted to go buy a Yamaha and buy this and buy that.
Mm-hmm.
So I think to answer your question, you absolutely, in order to be a man, have to get married.
Because a man is a provider.
Yeah.
So talk more about that. What does it mean to be a provider?
Yeah. And I was thinking too, like Charlie Kirk said this so much, when you get married and then you have kids, your provider switch turns on like never before, especially, like my experience. I'm going to come from my experience. I have always been the sole provider. I've never not been from a very early age. I've always provided. I even provided for my mom. So I've always been a provider. The level of responsibility that it takes to be a provider, and I haven't even been a good provider. I mean, I guess I'd have to let other people speak for that, but I think my ambition is that, what the Bible says, to leave generations to your generations, right?
To leave
generational wealth.
Generational wealth, yeah.
It's for your kids, and that to me is earned. That title is earned. So am I going to sit here and say I've earned that title? I don't think I have.
But that's what you're striving for.
That's what I'm striving for. And I've been striving for that since I've been a very young man, but have I achieved it? No. And so I think there's something like you tell me 18-year-old kid, 20-year-old kid, 25-year-old kid, he doesn't have a family and kids. What's his level of commitment? Mm-hmm. And you know me, you can even speak for me. I mean, do you think that I need to live in a nice house and have a nice car? Mm-hmm. I'll sleep in dirt.
Oh, you for yourself? Yeah. Guys have no problem.
Like I would go to Brazil right now.
Believe me, you don't have a nice house because that's what you want. It's more like that's what your family wants.
That's what my
guys will be go to a bachelor place.
Like I would live in Brazil. And I've talked about this. I would live in Brazil in a regular condo and be happy as possible. Flip-flops, go to the beach. I mean, they're like a piece of shit.
Don't you think that guys are trying to escape that too?
Yeah.
They're constantly battling with becoming a piece of shit or actually become the greatest man that they can become so they can provide for their family. I think okay, let's talk about this. It's like, you see these guys who are like, we're going to sell everything. We're going to live in a van and we're going to just minimize our costs and pretend that this is the greatest thing that ever happened.
And sells his wife on this vision.
And she has to buy it because it's her husband.
Like, she's like, okay, we're going to go on an adventure.
She's like, okay.
And we're going to sleep in a van. With 4 kids.
And I gotta make us look good because women do that because this moron is refusing to do whatever it takes to take our family to the next level. I'm sorry. I think men battle that because they are thinking about themselves.
Dude, you can call me out on that. I've done it.
Yeah, you've done it.
I have kicked and screamed and said, let's live in a cheaper house and let's downsize. And what
did I always say?
No, I told you, I remember telling you this when I was running Dude's company. Let's live in the shop. We'll put a camper in there. No problem. I mean,
and what did I say?
It's not even happening.
But that's the difference. I don't think women are doing this. It's like, I refuse to let you settle.
And thank God.
And I'm like, no.
No, what men don't understand.
At the end of the day, I don't think it's something that you would have done. But it's the thoughts are coming. I'm like, we're not going to give this any more water. Like, no, it ain't happening.
Every guy wants to cut his expenses. Like, do I like having all these heavy expenses? I mean, let's talk about it. I mean, we got what, $15,000 a week going out in payroll.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, and then on top of that, our rent, the rent, the utilities, all the vehicles
Everything,
we have.
yeah.
I mean, it's like, it's a lot of money.
Yeah.
So a guy, instead of embracing his manhood and saying, I'm going to more than provide for that,
I'm going to make more.
we're always fighting on how do I do it? How do I do this less? And there's a lot of guys out there. It's like, I'm going to live in a trailer and I'm going to live in this town that's cheaper. And I mean, guys are all the time pushing back, and you women are allowing it. Why?
Yeah, I didn't allow you to.
Thank God.
Yeah, I didn't.
I'm grateful.
And I think women need to stand more on the ground. It's like, okay, being submissive to your husband and being supportive of your husband, it does not mean that you just accept everything your husband does. It's like I absolutely have a voice. I go and tell you, no, we ain't doing that. Because why? This doesn't align with biblical values. This doesn't align with you becoming a better man and a better provider. Oh, thanks for the reminder. Okay, let's get back on track. I'm like, okay, husband.
Guys, I've had I'm a sales guy. I'm a master sales guy.
You are.
And I have pushed Nora to the limits of let's cut our expenses and let's go backwards. And
I've given you room. I'm like, I'm going to give you some room for this. But it's like, it's a short lived. Like, do you need time to resettle? You've had to need those times. And I'm like, okay, but we're getting right back to it. How much do you need? 3 months, a month?
Yeah.
We even went to Brazil for that.
Yep.
But I'm like, as soon as we got back to America, I'm like, oh boy, we're running now. We're going full speed.
Full throttle.
But then you love this.
Yes.
Do you think, don't you think that you are feeling more like you are?
This is what I want to touch on this. You agree with me. When you married me, I had high expectations. The first thing we did when we moved to Nashville was we moved into an apartment we could not afford. Mm-hmm. And we moved in there because I wanted to. You were even uncomfortable.
It's true.
You're like, there's no way. We're way outside of our means. And I think there was a part of me, I want you to talk about this. There was a part of me that unlocked that in you. Mm-hmm. Where you realized I do like nice things. Because when I married you, you were a simple Brazilian girl, mm-hmm. right?
I've never been materialistic, guys.
Right.
To this day, I'm not.
Right.
Okay. It's taken me a lot to even, I've always just been very simple, being content with little. That's the truth about me. I had ambitions, but talking materialistic things, man, I'm just happy with. And then you definitely sparked that in me because, again, you're American.
Yeah. And it's my own damn fault, right? But
then you sparked that in me, but in moments that you have pressure, which is just pressure.
Yeah,
it means you're going through fire.
Yeah.
You were throttling back, but I was using things that you told me. I'm like, remember this. This is the direction we're going. And that's because that's what I'm saying. I don't think at your core, you wanted to settle, go backwards. No, that's not who you are.
Not who I am.
But definitely this came up in moments of pressure.
Of weakness. I would call it weakness. It's when you're being a little boy. It's like man up. It's the moments that I didn't want to man up because the truth is, let's use the analogy of going to the gym. If you're trying to pass 200 pounds, there's a lot of friction, is there not? So what do you do with that friction? Do you settle back or do you push over? Mm-hmm. Or as Donald Trump would say, weave and bob. Change this, change that. So the problem is, so to the core, I've always wanted you to have the best. This is a fact.
It's true.
And I pushed you to even realize that as a woman, you wanted the best. Mm-hmm. You never had a guy pushing that. Mm-hmm. Or I don't want to speak for you.
Yeah.
So I brought this, we're going to live better. We're going to drive nice cars. I mean, you've never really driven a bad car, ever. Like when I met you, you bought cars cash. You know, it's a phenomenal story. I can't wait to share it. But when you married me, I'm like, you have never driven a bad car, ever. And it's come at a massive sacrifice. You've only lived in a home that was, that we would consider, less, but it was only one. Mm-hmm. Other than that, we've been living in luxury apartments, luxury houses. I mean, we live in a luxury house right now. Mm-hmm. You want it.
Yes. Every woman wants it.
And the truth is, it was buried deep down inside. And all I did was, as a man, say, this is what you want.
And isn't that amazing that having to fight that? Because women want that. Let me tell you. Your wife, your kids, they want to live in a nice home. And they're waiting on you to lead them there.
And Evelyn, I mean, whoever marries her is already doomed.
Oh, boy.
That's bougie.
Boy.
Bougie.
Evelyn's like, is this our home?
Yeah.
Could have done better.
Could have done better.
In the most nicest way, though. I love it, though.
Even in Brazil, let's talk about Brazil. It's like we made it sound like it was a step back. It's like we were living in an 18th floor, beautiful condo.
Oh, it was a super nice place. Yeah.
Like completely renovated. Yeah. 3 ACs. You guys don't even know. We were not living bad at all.
No, it was great.
Evelyn was going to a private school. So, but even in that situation,
Okay, so let's use what?
Hold on. Even in that situation of Evelyn living in the nicest condo, she would come to us and be like, you could do better.
You could do better. But let me tell you why, though. She was going to this private school in Brazil that she was surrounded by the elite of Brazil.
Yeah.
I haven't experienced the elite of Brazil. I go to take Evelyn because Evelyn is so comfortable with rich people. I mean, in a way that I never was.
I still don't.
So she's like, I'm going to, my friends invited me over to the house. I'm like, okay. And you guys got to think this. I'm in my town that I've lived my whole life in Brazil. And I've heard about this pocket of places that the rich lives. Here I am taking Evelyn there. I'm like, okay. We go in. It's like they have this Go Gate community. They have to check the trunk of your car, make sure that nothing's in the back. And then you go in this house is like, you don't see these houses in America.
30,000 square feet.
So no wonder she's going to, if she comes back on this playlist, like, could have do a little bit better.
Yeah.
Your condo is right, Evelyn. Nice. Thank you. But in the nicest way. I love Evelyn. She's the best. And I'm like, and the thing that you never pushed back on Evelyn, you said, you're right, Evelyn. I do think that we can do better. We deserve better.
My whole goal with Evelyn, and I'm realizing this is kind of cool because we're having some self-reflection here where I'm like, as a man, when you are married to a woman, you give her the best, even if you can't provide it. And I think I've done a good job with that. I haven't come from I'm not going to sit here and have all these excuses, but I think at the end of the day, I wanted my family to have the best.
That's why we are here.
Yeah.
It's because you always wanted that for us. It's true. You really did. You may have not known how to do it at certain times or the right answers, but that's what you wanted.
I wanted the best.
Yeah. And I look at Evelyn. That's why I think it's so important to bring it up. Is there anything wrong with my daughter experiencing a life where she doesn't have to suffer like we did, where she actually comes across a guy who is better off than you ever was, that she's better off than what I was when I met you? Is there anything wrong with that?
No, I actually, you mean to answer that question? Mm-hmm. I think I think parents don't understand you piggyback off that stuff. So if I'm raising Evelyn and I'm raising her in a success environment and I'm giving her what I have now instead of what I had back then, because me and you are constantly growing. And then Evelyn marries up. Mm-hmm. Then we marry into that family. We collaborate together in our businesses, and then we all end up winning. I think people don't understand that when you're an entrepreneur, when you are doing things like we are, everything is a growth. Mm-hmm. Nothing in your life, like I'm not an employee and Evelyn marries an employee and then we just have jobs. Mm-hmm. We all collaborate. Like Myron Golden if you guys don't know who Myron Golden is, phenomenal guy, love him to death. His family's in the businesses. When they married other people, they all went into the business and then they grew their empire.
Yeah, they have their own businesses that collaborates with his businesses. Amazing.
And you guys don't understand this because you haven't been educated. And the truth is, I'm sitting here and I'm like, what is it to be a man? Is that you change the family tree. That's what we did. I came in poor as dirt. I come from a poor background.
It's true, guys. I think even to me it was a shock because I'm Brazilian. I tell Brian, you grew up way poorer than me in America. And I didn't think that was possible because you got to think I'm from Brazil, mm-hmm. which is an amazing country, but it's considered a third world country. And I'm like, oh no, Brian, you had it rough. You had it really rough in America.
Yeah. And I came in and it's like, we're all going to get wealthy. That's what men do.
No matter what.
That's what men do, in my opinion.
No matter the cost.
And I want to say this to you men out there. This is my message. Get married, regardless of where you're at. Man up. Develop the skills. Educate yourself on entrepreneurship. You know what I was thinking? If I was a father and I saw my kid eating, let's just say, because it's never going to happen. Evelyn's a next level athlete because of the way we raise her. She's not eating bowls of cereal like that. I could take her on a 5-mile run right now and she's going to crush it. But let's say that I adopted someone and brought them into my house. What would I do? I would change their eating.
Oh, you would change them.
I would change their environment. I would change the information that's going into their ears, right?
Oh, yeah.
And then I would make them implement the changes. All these things I just said is simple.
They would become amazing. We always talk about this. Like, we should do this.
So if your son is like, I'm gay, he may think that he's gay right now. Change his environment, change his attitude, change his environment, change what he's doing, change the people he's surrounded by, and all these things I just said. that right there will morph him into another person, because the belief system of like, I'm gay, I can't change. We all change.
Mm-hmm.
Does it make sense what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Me and you have changed since we first got married.
Mm-hmm.
You change, and it's through hardship that you change.
It's funny too, because we've seen this. It's like, let's not talk about it, how you can no longer be gay, but it's like this thing that it's supposed to be with you forever. We saw the case of like Jojo Siwa. I don't know, you probably
100%.
are not following anything.
A little bit, because everyone was following her when she was a kid.
But because Evelyn used to love her. She was in Dance Moms. Evelyn's a dancer, all that stuff. We all love Jojo. And then she started going this weird path, and it seems so obvious that it wasn't for the right reasons. It's more like because that world was welcoming her to become a lesbian, say all of this. And the more she looked like a man, the more attention she was getting. And JoJo liked attention. She always did. She still does. So for somebody who wants attention, that's amazing. Guys, I'm telling you, when you're young, if you find out that you are become this, you get all the attention, you go that route. And then to see her now completely swift,
why?
Change.
It didn't serve her. That's why.
Exactly. And for her to be like she's so happy now with this guy. She talks different. She acts different. She's just like so sweet now. She's no longer that, It's so amazing. It's like, yeah, it can happen. So are you all going to tell me that like she is really gay and she's still trying to hold on to be like, I'm just everything right now in the season? Like, no, JoJo, you're not gay. I'm sorry. Like you were never a lesbian, but you experienced that. And then like you can get out of that. And no one can say, oh, JoJo looks way unhappier now than she ever was before. That girl is bubbly. Like I'm excited, man.
That's
it's
why
so cute.
I've done this so much with Evelyn, where she's going down a phase, whatever it is. And as a man, I just hold my ground, and I take the child and I push them through that phase and say, there, now you're on the other side. And I'm like, what? It's like, that's what we need to do as parents. It's like, stop giving in to your children, their kids.
Yeah.
Just push them along. Let them go through that phase.
And guys, this is your job. I don't care what your wife says, what she believes. If she agrees or disagrees with you, you stand on that ground no matter what.
Yes. And I do think you have to have convictions. And I'm telling you, man, you need to just stop worrying about what people feel, what people think. Stick with your gut and just keep doing right. And I think everything's rooted deep into the Bible. I really do. I was telling this kid who thinks he's gay that what is God's plan ultimately? Well, why did he create human race? It was to multiply, for a man and woman to multiply and have kids and multiply the earth. That was his plan. If you think about it, that's the plan that's been attacked from day one. We're all trying to attack God's plan, because it takes a man and a woman to come together to have children. And then what does it take to raise those children? A man and a woman. It's that simple. It's God's plan. So and
we're so different and so important in the raising of the child.
100%.
It's so important to have mom and dad there, because we're uniquely different. And when we come together, they get to experience something so beautiful.
And me and you, sit here, and of all the ambitions we've had in life, of all the things we've wanted to accomplish, and even when you were a kid, all the things you wanted to accomplish, nothing comes close to raising a kid. Nothing. At the end of the day, me and you
That's why you see
have full fulfillment in the fact that we are raising a legacy. It's like, forget the vacations, forget all the ambitions you have. When you have a child and you come together with a man and a woman and you guys both get on the same page of raising that child so they can have children, I mean, there's no other fulfillment.
It's so beautiful. That's why you see God's design. You become a better person. You see them flourishing. You see them, like sponges absorbing all of your values, and you get to have so many moments of like,
and you see God in them.
You see it.
You see God in them.
You understand God better because you were God's children. So you're like, gosh, because it's like this. If I love Evelyn the way that I do, because it's like, I've never loved anyone like that. And I've never been able to do so much for Evelyn, for anybody ever in my life. How much more does God loves me? Jeez, like it's insane. And then she realized, how much more does God love Evelyn more than me? It's just amazing. And it's what you said. Obviously, you can have masculine traits before you get married because you can be going on the right track. But you're not fully going to become a man Unless you have a family, you have to provide, you have to lead, you have to protect, you have to serve other people outside of yourself, you have to leave a legacy behind. And I think men have that weight. You do. Like, you are the provider. As a man, I'm done. This 50-50, what do you think about, Brian?
I don't even know what it means.
So it's like, I come in with 50%, I pay 50% of the bills, you pay 50% of the bills. I come in with 50% of the work in the house, you do 50% of the work in the house.
I'm going to speak from a very carnal place, like without God and everything, just as a 100% man. As a man, we like to be on top. Men like to be on top with everything, on top of business, on top of houses, on top of community. We want to be on top. Why would I ever submit like the power of paying? Like when I pay for my family's meal, I'm on top. I'm top G. I'm the guy on top. Why would I want my woman to try to be on top of me? You understand
that from you? Yeah.
It's like, no. So I take honor, and then here's what's crazy is that a woman gets blessed by a guy who provides. Like, I think women need to. It's like, woman, do you want to be on top? Because you say you want to be on top, but do you want to do the things that it takes to be on top? Men, we thrive in that competitive nature.
You were made for this.
We were designed. We are hardwired to compete.
Like, the more you're doing what is impossible, hard, and there's so much pressure, the more
a lion. We're apex. Men are apex. We're apex. We're the top of the food chain, and actually, we're on top of the food chain. Even of lions. Like, God put us on top. Men are on top. We were designed to create and to lead. So we're on the top of the food chain. That's right. Do you understand? Because
I think so. I don't know what that means. The top of the food chain.
What I mean by that is when God created the entire earth.
Okay,
we are even above angels. Men.
Correct. Okay.
We are on the top.
Like, man as in humanity?
Yeah. No, I'm talking about animals, angels. It's God, humans.
I know. When you say man, are you saying man like the male, or man as in humanity?
No, I mean male.
Okay.
Like the male. God created Adam, and then he created Eve. So man, Adam, was on top. And then he said, Adam, you're going to name all the animals. He didn't say, hey, Eve, you're in charge of everything. Eve just got to enjoy her husband. And maybe women aren't going to like what I have to say, but the women who get it will, I think.
She was a helper.
She was a helper, and she got to be in this life. And I think women are anyway. I don't want to speak for women.
I'll go into that. But I don't want to do the work that you do.
Right.
And anytime I get pushed to do it, it's like it takes a part of me. I'm like, I will do for a season, but I'm out of it.
And you notice it takes no part of me.
Yeah.
It takes zero.
For you, it's no problem.
I'm like, next. So the whole point of what I'm saying is that a lion comes into a community of lions, whatever you call it, lioness, the female lions. And he's around all these women. He's the king. And then another guy comes in, and what does he do? He fights that lion to the death, or he kicks that lion out, and then he's back on top. So to answer your question about paying, why would I ever not want to pay? Why would I never not want to provide? Why?
Believe me, there's a bunch of people out there who stand on that, which I think is so ridiculous.
It's like, I can only imagine, like, you know me. If I go into an environment with a group of guys and there's a whole group of people, I'm paying for the whole meal. And it's not even a question. I'm not doing this whole split thing, even if I don't have it. You know me. Even if it's all the money in our account, I'm not going to leave this place where I wasn't on top.
So guys, just embrace it.
And fucking embrace it.
Don't you feel good when you pay that bill?
And I'll tell you when I don't feel good, when I don't have it. When I don't have it.
It's so true. We've had times that, like, okay, let's be honest. My dad paid the bill.
I hate it.
And how did that make you feel, Brian?
I hate it. And do you know he hated it?
He hated it too.
He's like, wow.
He's like,
I just
Brian.
thought you were in this place.
There were times, like in the beginning of our marriage, it wasn't easy. But here's the difference. You knew it was wrong. You didn't be like, okay,
daddy's paying my bill.
It was like, this is humiliating.
It's the same with you. If you had to pay the bill, it's like, I'm not walking away. I'm going to be like, what a piece of shit I am. And
can we talk about that too? Because there's a lot of men out there now who are getting so comfortable with being a stay-at-home dad.
I can't understand it. And they're not.
And why do they're allowing that to happen?
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that. I knew a guy, and you know, I'm not going to mention any names, but he was a stay-at-home dad for many years, and his wife was providing. And he tried to do these little side gigs and all these little things, but he never fully took ownership of being the provider. He got divorced. And I don't remember what it was all for. I think there was a little bit of cheating, but I remember all the time that he was talking about, I didn't like it. I didn't feel respected. I didn't feel honored. It's like there is a mantle, guys. There is something that's earned that women love for you to earn it. So let's talk about that, Nara. If you married someone who is not going to man up, what would you do?
I would man up.
And I know that you're a very gung ho person. I don't think you would tolerate it for very long. I really don't.
I don't think I would either. I would man up and I would give him some chances. If you never change, Brian, I don't think I would be with that person. Because I'm like, I don't want to be somebody's mommy's.
And I see that with you, but I don't see that with other women. So I think other women, they just keep going. They just keep, hey, this is my life. My husband's this person. But I think that men need to hear this. Women want to be razzled, dazzled. They want a man in their life. They want someone to put their foot down. They just want a leader. I think women they're just like, they may not like it at first, but deep down, the woman inside of them comes out when a man is so masculine. And guys, you know what I realized after just saying this? The lenses of masculinity is so tainted of what it actually is. I think our viewers are like, not all of them, but I think some of them start seeing like this guy, he's real mean. And he says it like, it's not what we're talking about. We're talking about raw leadership.
Yeah.
It's
like your wife is not this macho thing. Like your wife is my slave.
Yeah.
She should do everything in the house for me.
Yeah.
Treat me like a king and shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
And like, come on. We're not talking about this. This is not leadership. It's the same thing as a boss who shows up and be like, everybody serves me.
Yep.
No, you serve everybody.
And the truth is that's not masculinity. That's insecurity. It is. If you can't allow your wife a platform to speak on a podcast, if you're not going to do you're the CEO of our company. There's a reason why you are. I do think women love leadership, masculinity at its purest form. Women will submit to it naturally. I really believe that.
That's awesome. I agree.
I think a woman just submits.
So what would it be? One takeaway that you would give to a guy who is in this place right now? Let's say, how does he start? Brian, I feel like my wife does not respect me. I feel like my kids don't look up to me. They don't honor me. They don't obey me. I feel like I am working my butt off. I'm working for a paycheck. I don't know how to change where to start, Brian. I see what you're saying is right. I want it. How do I start? What would you say?
Step one, go get your blood checked. You have extreme low testosterone. Number two, your estrogen is through the roof. Even the thoughts that you just had reminds me of a little bitch. Do you ever hear me saying that? Me. Like my wife doesn't respect me. It's like, go to the gym, read books, become an entrepreneur, grow a successful business. Date your wife, give her flowers. Like even intimacy. Guys are like, I'm not, and we've all been there. We've all struggled. I'm not going to sit here and say that I haven't struggled in a lot of areas. I think the areas that I've struggled in with you have been fixed the more I become a man. Do you disagree with that?
I agree.
And you've noticed that you married a guy who was to go back to the beginning, you married a guy at my lowest point. I really was. And you saw something inside of me that wasn't alive. And the more that it became alive, the more you realize, oh, that's the guy I married.
I knew you're a great guy. I saw that all through you. But you had to slowly start coming out of your shell and overcoming those things and taking more the lead and becoming more of a man. And the more you went to that direction, the more the other stuff started going away.
Almost all of it. And
the more I started admiring you more and looking up to you more and respecting more, because it wasn't not just by you, I'm your husband and that's it. No, you have to earn that by the changes you're making in your life. I love the advice you gave because it was very practical. And I think men should absolutely listen to what you said. And you have helped a lot of your friends by just telling them those things. And they're like, you're right.
Yeah. If you're even complaining about intimacy, it's like your wife desires intimacy. She desires to be intimate with you, but she wants to be intimate with a man. I'm sorry. It's like, can we cut the shit? A woman doesn't want to be with another woman. And especially like a guy who's like, do you love me? You know, do you like me? Are you attracted to me? The answer is no.
I know, be a man.
It's like, no, I'm not. And maybe that guy doesn't want to hear it. So it's like, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
Are you going to continue being weak? Are you like, when I touch your body, it's flabby. I want to feel muscles.
Is there anything wrong with that?
I don't think so. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think a woman who grabs a guy and feels like she's inferior, she loves that.
And guys, let me make something very clear, because women are less physical than men. It's not that it's like, I'm only going to feel that way when your body's filled with muscles. Is that seeing that that's a direction that you're going is so attractive.
Yeah.
Seeing that you're overweight. Let's use that for example. But you're going to the gym every day. Dude, that's like,
it's attractive.
Wow.
It's attractive.
That's amazing. So it's not when you get there. It's
and then
the
what
journey.
happens? But what happens to the guy? He starts being energetic. He's able
great.
to. But can we get into a little bit of the flesh? A little bit.
No.
Like the guy can pick you up. The guy can do things around the house. The guys can go on like a run with you. He's not huffing and puffing.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just like, come on. Yeah. It's like you come here on In the Trench podcast. This is what you're gonna get.
That's it, guys. And I think the greatest takeaway is like this. Society needs more men. Women want you to be more in your masculine energy and in fulfillment and role than ever, whether you think so or not. And then I think it's a beautiful thing to be a man. I think God created man, and you guys are so needed in society. Society cannot thrive without man being man. You guys are absolutely incredible. You have such a huge... you have such a huge weight on your shoulders, but so I honor you guys for that, for doing whatever it takes to providing for a family. So I understand that some of the guys are just doing the best that they can in the season, but we hope that this encourages you to step out and become even better. Because this is about evolution. I don't think you're like from a man from a boy to a man, and to a man to a greater man.
Who benefits from that? A guy becoming extremely masculine and becoming a man. His family, the community, their blood family, their business,
his employees,
their employees, the economy. I mean, I'm just like, everybody benefits from it.
Yeah.
And who else benefits from it? The man. He feels like a man. Yeah. If a guy wakes up and he's depressed and he's filled with anxiety and all those things, he doesn't benefit from the lack of man.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, but our society is killing men. And I think we need to realize that. We need to wake up.
That's it.
Thank you for joining this podcast with, myself and my wife. It's been a pleasure. Next podcast is actually going to be about women. And we have a lot to say about this.
Yes. I can't wait to share that. If you have not subscribed yet, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any episode. We're having one episode a week, and we hope that this gives you encouragement to take the next step. And we're here for you. We're not against you. Yeah. We're for you, for your family, for your business, for your journey with God. And we think that this life is amazing and should be lived to the fullest.
That's it.